Hi everyone, my name is Jess Renz and I'm a Sydney-based makeup artist, and today I'm going to be presenting a video talking about the differences between organic makeup and non-organic makeup. What is natural, what isn't natural, how ingredients can help your skin, and how to create a natural beauty look. So the first product I want to discuss in my comparisons is the primer. Every makeup artist uses primer to help their makeup last longer, to help their client's skin seem smoother. We might wear it every day to make sure our makeup doesn't absorb into the pores. So what we've been told is that primer is helping our skin. However, it's actually doing a lot more damage than we know. So it has a very strong toxin in there called dimethicone. Dimethicone acts like a polymer, which makes the skin have sensitivity. It can create micro tears, and it will smooth things down and help makeup stay on there longer and foundation sit there beautifully, but it will destroy your skin. It isn't a product that you want to be using long term. It is something that is not promoting good skin health. So my recommendation is to use an alternative, and luckily we have a few brands out there that are producing naturally based primers. So you need to look for ingredients like licorice root and seed oils. These are the types of ingredients that will come from plants and that will really give the skin a smooth finish, and it will help nourish the skin and rebuild rejuvenation. So the cells will rebuild. When we use a toxin such as a silicone-based primer, we really aren't doing much for our skin, but making it harder to wear makeup on in the long run. So if you damage your skin with your skincare steps, you won't have much luck finding a nice smooth foundation. The second product I want to compare is foundations. When working with foundations, we can have liquids, we can have creams, we can have concealer styles, loose powders, pressed powders. Whichever style they come in, they will have colorants, they will have binding agents, and they will have something that will absorb into the skin, so a dilution. What we want to be careful of is the real nasty ones. So the main ones are the artificial fragrances that cause a lot of allergic reactions. There's also talc. Unfortunately, talc is still found in many cosmetics and is a binding agent, and it's a filler, so you're not getting your money's worth. There's things such as parabens in many forms, which are binding agents, and parabens are known to be carcinogenic, such as talcs. And so amongst these things, you can have serious side effects. When we're absorbing ingredients that are damaging to our internal self, we are not receiving the best quality makeup. Makeup is there to balance those colors and to make you feel your enhanced best self. So these are the ingredients that we need to move away from. And when we can do that with an organic foundation or mineral powder, we can find a better calming result for our overall skin and internal self. So we don't absorb those nasties, those toxins, those chemicals, and our skin rebuilds better. It survives better, and we aren't in a cycle of damaging our skin and trying to repair it with things that are doing more damage. So be mindful of those ingredients. My advice would be to use things that have no chemical dyes in there. It have to be natural pigments from Mother Nature. I would look for things that are paraben free, talc free. I would look for mineral powders that don't have artificial SPF as well. So think about those comparisons, have a look at your ingredients, and always be mindful that the first ingredient is the majority of what's inside that particular product. Third product I want to discuss is SPF, which is an ingredient that we find in makeup such as foundations, powders, concealers, and loose powders. So we want to stay away from the toxic ingredients octochlorine and avobenzone. These two artificial SPFs are going to be really strong on the skin. They cause a lot of havoc. They make the skin red, reactive, they might sting when you wear them, and it's extremely high toxins. So it can be really nasty on someone's skin. It can be found in many high-end brands, and it really doesn't do much benefit. I would recommend using your zinc oxide, your titanium oxide based products, because they will give a natural repellent to the sun, and they actually work beautifully in a mineral powder. Whereas when you allow the mineral powder to sit over the surface of the skin at the end of your makeup, it repels in little shafts, so it doesn't sit underneath all your layers of makeup and sort of be absorbed into the skin, and therefore doesn't repel any sun anyway. So use it in a mineral powder form and you'll get the best results and the best benefits from that zinc oxide and titanium oxide. Fourth product can be lipstick. However, I'm also going to bring this into mascara and anything like an eyeshadow or a cream blush, anything that has color in it, because I'm going to look at the ingredient of color and artificial color. So artificial color is created by man-made dyes, which are toxins that can be absorbed and cause health damage. So what you want to look for is plant-based colorings and food-based colorings. So anytime you see lipsticks that have a number next to the color, that would indicate that it is a artificial dye. When they describe the plant or the food that they gain the oil from, such as castor seed oil, or you might have things like carnauba wax or manuka honey, these are all things that produce a more healthy, organic, natural lipstick. And with the vegetable and the plant natural colorings derived from the stems, they can create a beautiful, luscious color, and that can be put into different forms such as powder or lipstick. So I would stay away from anything that has mysterious numbers and artificial titles. So anything that ends in a chemical based name will be what you'd stay well and truly away from. This is what I think the organic world is working very hard on to compete with the commercial side. We see a lot of big brands using high pigmented products that promise a lot of high performance and longevity. However, it is incredibly dangerous for the skin, and it also doesn't promote good hygiene or good skin health. So be mindful of where the colorings come from and how they can also be absorbed and become a carcinogenic too, and look out for those a little bit more natural promises. Last point I want to make is hyaluronic acid. Why I want to talk about this in my video is because hyaluronic acid right now in the beauty industry is a high performing product. It is promising every beauty enthusiast's dreams to come true and perfecting the skin, but you must be sure of the type of hyaluronic acid it is. So hyaluronic acid, natural hyaluronic acid, does come from plant, and it shouldn't be coming from a animal or a body. It can be confusing because the title is hyaluronic acid, so it sounds dangerous already. But just be mindful that clean, pure hyaluronic acid is a botanical, and it will create great softness to the skin, and it will rebuild cells, and it will smooth surfaces down because it's locking in moisture. Hyaluronic acid is an agent that keeps the moisture in the skin. It's what we actually produce naturally under the layers of skin in our bodies, but we want to get this from plant-based sources and mineral-based sources so that we don't have invasive ingredients on our skin to help smooth it out. Otherwise, we don't get that finish that we're promised when we're using an artificial hyaluronic acid. So look out for those labels, look out for the differences with those. They would change the performance of your makeup highly. And I really think that we need to increase the knowledge and understanding around what hyaluronic acid is. So my final part of my video is breaking down a natural beauty look. So the key things is balance of colors and enhancement. So for my foundation, I today have used a natural brand that is Australian based, and it looks at using plant-based ingredients that help nourish the skin and build back hydration. So my recommendation is looking for those foundations that have those natural pigments and added moisture. So there is a variety of options on the market, but check your labels, check which one is going to give you that extra moisture. Don't always go for something that says hyaluronic acid, go for something that might have a seed oil in there, and it might have an extra mineral oil that will be nice and calming to the skin. So plant-based serums really can sit nicely underneath your foundations and will give that beautiful sort of balance. I also would consider thinking about the right concealer. So concealers have lots of silicons in them. So you want to move yourself over to a plant-based concealer. And if you use ones that are cream-based, they should perform really beautifully because they have more concentrated pigment, which comes from rock. And you should be able to then allow that to settle in under the eyes or across the eyes if that's the design you're looking for, to balance out the under eye area and sort of give that sort of strong base to apply eyeshadow, eyeliner, things of that style. So look for things that have a concentrate of pigment but don't have silicons to promise smoothing down. You're looking for more hydration so that your skin can sit comfortably with any product on top. So some areas to enhance the skin. Once you have your foundation down and you found a solution to concealing, you want to enhance. So it's blush, it's a highlight time, you can contour. Bronzers that are naturally based are the best because they don't have that artificial dye which can oxidize and cause a lot of red or orange, and it's all about softly enhancing the structure of the face. So I would look for things that have a bit more of a peach orange sort of golden tone when you're looking at contouring, and I love a powder form. I think that suits most people and you can build it up, and a natural bronzer or contour will always be subtle and it won't leave that really caked, strong, you know, unfinished complexion. So think about your bronzing choice, and some will have mica in them and the mica will give a nice reflection, but you don't really want to go overboard with that. Other things is the blush. So I'm just going to add to some of the blush that I have on. So this is a powder brush. This is a natural mineral blush. I love blush, so I don't mind adding a little bit more. This is some of the funnest part of natural makeup. This is where we have that really subtle color pigment coming through, but it sits on the skin beautifully. What's nice about a natural blush, whether it be cream based or powder based, is it doesn't absorb into the skin and sort of get lost. It sits beautifully on top of other mineral powders, and they work together so they don't absorb one another. They actually sit on top of each other because they don't have absorbing materials, so they sit really beautifully and they leave a natural glow and they reflect nicely. So I love to enhance with blush. I actually think that blushes in the organic makeup will work perfectly around the eye area. In fact, I often use blushes or cream blushes as eyeshadows when it comes to organic makeup styles, and they perform beautifully. So I love those, but I'm going to add a little bit of a mineral eyeshadow right now to show you how you can get that beautiful enhancement. So the next step is mineral eyeshadow or eyeshadow. It doesn't matter, but it is a great area for organic makeup. You can get the most beautiful colors in organic eyeshadows. They have beautiful natural pigment from rock. You can get cool tones to neutral tones to warm tones, and I believe that you can build it up and you can have a very classic finish. It looks soft, it looks elegant. I don't think you need too much of it, and it doesn't cause itchiness or irritation around the eye. And that's a really big important area, is to not cause your client or yourself any irritation. Sensitive eyes is a big factor when it comes to makeup, and sometimes it becomes too strong to wear eyeshadow and you need to take it off before your event finishes or your day finishes. But with anything that has these soothing elements that cause beautiful reflection in the light aren't going to harm your eye. You'll be able to wear this for a lot longer than a high pigmented commercial eyeshadow, because it won't have those artificial colorings in there and fragrances. A lot of eyeshadows have fragrances in them. I don't really know why, but not necessary. So just because it smells pretty doesn't mean that it's going to be good for you. So stay away from those. I just finish on this other eye to show you. And this is just a beautiful peachy gold. It doesn't have to be peachy gold for you. There's blues, like I said, there's purples that are amazing that come from vegetables, plants, and you can get these fantastic shades. Yes, I love that color. And now we're starting to see a more enhanced beauty, but not short of pigment and not short of a bit more of a glamorous style. So what about eyebrows? Eyebrows in the natural world, this is really important. Eyebrows are a hormonal area. People react in this area all the time. They don't need extra clogging pomades that do nothing for the brow. You might be sparsing the brow by using these chemically based products. So use something that has anything like a beautiful plant oil in there with natural pigment. It isn't hard to find natural based pencils. There's many on the market, and they can do a lot more conditioning for the brow, allow the brow to grow in a great formed shape. It won't be as sparse as when you're adding chemicals and clogging the pores that cause that uneven sort of consistency. So brow powders are fine, brow pencils are fine. They'll give a little bit more nourishment, but you're looking for something that's going to help the sparseness, not damage your brow area. So this is an organic pencil that I absolutely love, and for me, I can make it as dark or as light as I need to, and this gives my eyes a little bit more depth of color. It gives my face a little bit more formation, and it takes my makeup to a more glamorous finish. Highlight. Why not highlight? Even in the natural world, we can get beautiful reflections from rocks, and then they're formulated into beautiful powders, creams. So I'm going to use a cream-based highlighter, and I'm going to gently apply that to my high points. For me, it's just above my cheekbone. Pretty amazing. Some people like to take it down the nose. I'm still not so sure. I just like to use a soft amount above my blush area. A little bit of freshness to the skin. I'm starting to look very romantic and glowy. Looks really good. And lipsticks. So lipsticks, the brighter the better, according to me. So choose yourself a beautiful lipstick. Look for those artificial dyes, avoid them, and go for those that are plant-based. And the redder, the more exciting, but you can actually get the most neutral lipsticks from natural brands and organic brands, and they sit beautifully and nourish the skin. So nourishment, enhancement, skin health, and beautiful high-performing organic products is what we are looking for. I hope you've enjoyed these tips, and I hope you enjoy looking for your next natural makeup choices. I believe that this is the way makeup industry should be heading, and I look forward to feedback. I love hearing people's advice, ideas, and what they've been using and now switched over to organic choices. Have a beautiful day. See you next time.